So welcome to day 4. We're currently on our way on our next part of our little journey. We're just leaving Potter Heigham, which you can probably see in the distance there. We stayed there overnight. It was a lovely little place. There's a few eateries, as you probably saw in the previous clip. But yeah, we're heading on this waterway and continue our journey. So why don't you get your shoes on, get your coat on, wear a sun hat because it's quite sunny today. Makes a change from yesterday. And yeah, join us on our journey as we head on. Look at that house. What a lovely house to live in. It's got a nice little shed there, little summer house, beautiful house there, and you even got your little Merlin canal boat to go along with. How lovely. It must be so relaxing along here, just being able to sit like the gentleman is here, fishing, watching the world go by, watching the boats go by. Yeah, it's just perfect. Got nice little areas to fish in. Looks like there's an old windmill over there, or one of the pumps they used to have here, possibly turned into a property over there. But yeah, these little sort of plots of land, I did notice further up while we were coming to these sort of places that a sort of stretch of land around here next to this sort of waterway can be up to, I think it was £800,000 or so on one of the estate agents on here. A lot of money, and that was just the land itself. £800,000 just for the land. You haven't even built a house on it or anything yet, so it is quite expensive over here. But it's a lovely little waterway. Got some open space there in the woodlands. If you watched the last video, Narada the Grill and Tavern, that's where we were before. A nice little place, nice selection of food. And this is just another place where you can hire some boats out, whether you want a small one or a bigger one, just for the day. Or you can even have half a day if you want. I don't know if you can see that on there. Half a day boat hire is £42, or if you want a full day it's 70 quid. But yeah, you get these lovely little boats to take out for the day and just head up and down here. But yeah, this is the estate agents, Waterside Estate Agents. So if you want to know the sort of prices that are properties around here, you go to Waterside Estate Agents and go to Potter Heigham. It'll tell you what these have sold for, what they're for sale, prices for. Looks like each property's got its own little driveway or waterway, what you would call it, to store your boats. There's a fair few for sale along here, like another nice one there, Swan Cottage or whatever you would call that one. Riverside. And the same over here, you've got a nice little green area. Even the moles get here. Yeah, you've got a nice little green area at the front, somewhere to park your little boat, or you've got like a bigger boat park or whatever you would call it there. And just have a nice sort of property here. There's another one for sale there. So yeah, if you end up winning the lottery, you might be able to afford something like that. Get a little boat and go up and down here, or just sit out in the front and watch the world go by. But yeah, along here you've got geese, you've got ducks, you've got swans, all sorts of bird life flying by. That's a nice little frontage, isn't it? All the flowers. I don't know if you can see that on the GoPro. A little dolphin cottage. But yeah, they're like nicely spaced out, so you're obviously not right next to each other. And it looks like, I'm not too sure from behind there, I can't see fully, but I think, yeah, if you look behind these properties, they've just got open land over there, and over on this side you've got the same. It's just open fields, so the only noise you're going to get really is just the boats coming across here. You're going to get no noise over the back of there or the back of there. And I think when it comes to boating, obviously you can only boat and sail to a certain time, maybe like 8 o'clock at night or whatever, because these aren't fitted with lights, so you can't really sort of drive at night. We're not made for that, it's all a day thing. They usually have rules here. You can't make any noise before 7:30 in the morning or after maybe sort of 8 o'clock at night. And it does seem like the boating community are quite respectful. Like every time we've parked up, there hasn't been any music or any noise or any shouting or any of that sort of malarkey. The only noise you seem to get really is the bird noise, the geeses and things like that. Geeses? Is it geese? But yeah, that's pretty much all the noise you get. The sort of the bird noises really. But yeah, so this that we're seeing here is all Potter Heigham. Just a variety of different style properties here, from bigger style to a more sort of bijou is the word. There's another one for sale over there. Don't know if you can see, there's an ET out the front. It's a nice little property. It's like a long property, thatched roof. Even your boat port or whatever you would call it has got a thatched roof. And then you get these ones, very similar sort of sized properties, maybe like a 1-bedroom property. That's a nice one. Nice little garden front there. Nice little garden area there. There's one over here on the left hand side. It's like a black wooden design with the yellow trim around the windows. Not too sure if you can see that fully on the GoPro just yet. We will pass it in about 30 seconds. That's quite a nice looking one. Mind you, so is that. Nice little green area and seating area on the front. You've got a nice little area, decking area around there. Nice open windows there so you can get all of that light in. But yeah, this is what I'm on about. Nice, and the harbour. Nice little touch with those yellow parts on it. With matching shed. So there's only a few more properties dotted around on this left hand side before we end up going out into the water. So I will catch you in a second when we get further round and we can see the surrounding area, because at the moment it's just obviously reeds, weeds and fields. So as you go down this waterway, you can actually see Marsh Harriers. I'll have to put a picture on there because I don't think you can see it on the GoPro. I have tried to film it a couple of times, but it's on the GoPro, it might be very, very small. So I'll put a picture on now. This is a Marsh Harrier, and these apparently are quite rare birds. But along here, along this stretch, you do see them going along these reeds, sort of fluttering and then diving down to get their food. But along here, you've got a nice little place you can sit down and hopefully catch some fish. There's a few jetties around here you can sit along, but then it goes back to the sort of the reeds, so you can't really moor up against here at all. There's only specific places you can go. Obviously you don't need to tie your boat down like on a post or a ring. At the front of this particular boat you've got, or on all boats, you've got like a mud weight, and it's sort of a bell-shaped sort of heavy weight, and you can just drop that off and that'll sink down. You can just tie it tight and that'll just keep you in, which is probably what these people here are using. But we haven't actually used that. What we've done is we've either tied it at the back. You've got the four corners of the boat, you've got these ropes, you've got one there, you've also got one there, and as I say, you've got one left and right at the front as well. So you can either tie it at the back, tie it at the front, or tie it at the side. And on the side of the boat you've got these buoys. Not too sure if I showed you that last time. We've got those all the way around the boat, dotted all the way around, even at the back here and at the front, and that just protects the boat. If you're going close to a boat, it sort of cushions it like a bumper, or if you're sort of mooring up, it'll sort of go between the moorings and your boat, and it'll just stop your boat from getting damaged. They've got little bumpers on the side of their boat there. But yeah, every now and then there is a little bit you might be able to get into, drop your anchor and spend the night there. There's no sign there saying you can't do that. But obviously if you're looking for like amenities or like shops and things like that, it might be a bit of a walk to get into Ludhow or Ludham or whatever it's called. Because most of this is, that says mooring. I don't know if, I think someone's probably torn off the where it says you can't do that. And there's quite a few places along here that'll have private mooring, and that'll be private property obviously, so you can't moor there either. But the majority of this stretch, or most of the stretches, are just this sort of the reeds, the grassy areas. Lovely boats like that going by. So Barnes Big Craft, that's where we were the other night. A nice little area, very quiet. But it's a nice little place to come along. Obviously if you're on your boat you can just sail along here, or you've got nice little areas you can just, I think I saw a car park over there, so you can sort of drive up, park your car, find your spot and just cast out and enjoy a bit of fishing. It does seem every now and then there's a little space, so you've got your own little place, and then every now and then you've got a duck, swan, so you've got your duck over there, if you don't know your ducks from your swans, and you got swan there. But yeah, sadly the GoPro doesn't pick up these birds because there's one flying over there. I'm not entirely sure what that one is. But the Marsh Harriers fly all around here, and you can see them sort of flying along, then they'll stop and they'll hover, and you'll see them swoop and then come up with something. but there's just no properties along here. Obviously you can see, possibly see in the distance, there's housing over there and a church, but the majority of it is just open land and farmland. So it's very quiet and peaceful, apart from the engine noise, which is engines just under there. And then, not too sure you can see on the GoPro there, you've got your windmills in the distance there, which are probably the actual water pumps that the landowners use, or used to use. I'm not too sure if they're still in operation. If you know if they're still in operation, let us know in the comments. But I do know that they were used to kind of pump, I think they were used to pump the water off the land. But I'm not too sure if there's an actual a lane in between these reeds and the land. But yeah, a lot of it is just farmland. You can see cows in the distance there, and over here you can see cows in the distance there. And every now and then, you probably won't see on the GoPro, but these little jetties where the fishermen or fish people fish, you see these little ducklings and things basking in the sunshine. But yeah, I will be back in a minute, and I'll when we get close to that windmill or wind pump, I'll film that going past so you can see all of that, its glory. So I'll see you in a sec. So we just stopped off at St Benet's ruins, the abbey that's there, and I did a bit of drone footage which I'll show you. There's like a windmill, brick windmill there that they've built within part, I think, of the gatehouse, but there's other parts of the abbey you can see, but only sort of the sort of foundations level, and there's a cross of peace down there as well. But I flew my drone up and down a little bit, and I got a little bit of footage to show you, so I'll show you that now. And we're back. So, hope you enjoyed that little bit of footage. So that was St Benet's Abbey. We're heading to a place called Ackle, I think it's called. I think we're just going to stop off there, have a little bit of a mooch around that particular place, and see what that's like, get a few bits for tea tonight, and find somewhere to moor. I think we're going to be heading over to Great Yarmouth tomorrow, so we need to be up early because there's only a certain amount of times you can cross. When the tide's low, you have to get yourself over, because when the tide gets up, it tends to push you all over the place, and it's not ideal. So you need to check the tide times when you get near there, and it's usually sort of about 9-10 o'clock in the morning to get straight over there, and you can get over easy-ish. Otherwise it's a bit of a struggle to try and keep in the lane that you're supposed to go across. But we will challenge that tomorrow. But today we're just going to go and check a couple of the places out, have a little bit of a mooch around, and yeah, just continue on this beautiful waterway. But as you might be able to see, every now and then you see a yacht, you see all different types of boats. There's a lot of boats over there, so I'm not too sure. I think that's a yachting club up there, a yachting club. Can't even speak. Yeah, so I think we passed those windmills before on the way there. But yeah, there's a yachting club over there. And yeah, there's windmills or wind pumps dotted around, like I've said before. But apart from the noise of the engine, if we could cut the noise of the engine off, you would just hear the breeze and the birds, and it's very relaxing. There's a seagull. But usually over this sort of area near the reeds, there's usually those Marsh Harriers birds, and you see them sort of flying around, then they'll stop and you can see them flapping, and then they'll swoop down, grab whatever they've seen and take it back. But I saw some the other day, hopefully I've got them on camera. So yeah, hopefully I've captured it on camera. I might try and zoom in so you can see a little better, or put a picture of it again. You usually see them over this side. Sometimes they fly across the boat, but with the GoPro you don't tend to get a good zoom in on things. But as you can see, it's beautiful and peaceful. I think this might be a yacht. I can see a mast. There's no sail on there, so I don't know if it's going on its own power. But when you're boating, you have to stay on the right hand side, and obviously anything oncoming is on the left hand side. If there is a yacht coming and its sails are up, you have to give priority to the yachts. So obviously the yachts don't go in a straight line, they tend to weave with the wind. So what you need to do is you just need to slow your speed down. You need to keep an eye on them, see where they're heading. If they're just heading down the left hand side of you, then you keep in the right and just go around them. If you see them coming over, you just bring the power down, and then you just sort of maybe maneuver around them if it's safe to do so. Sometimes there might be other boats coming on that left hand side that you need to watch out for, but usually the people in the yachts will tell you exactly which direction they're going to be going, so you can figure out where you're going to be maneuvering something as big as this. Another thing, if you're never done boating before, you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's that upside down triangle there. I'll just get to the back of the boat, hopefully you can hear me. Try and get away from this engine noise. So there will be signs every now and then. There'll be like a 5 mile an hour signs, and basically you've got markers on the side of here, and it's a white pole with a upside down red triangle. So what happens is, when you get to that red triangle, between that point and the next red triangle should take you at least 3 minutes to get there. If it takes you 3 minutes, that means you're going exactly 5 miles an hour, which is the speed limit at that point. If you get there within 2 minutes, then obviously you're going too fast, you need to slow down. There are boat people on here, pilots or whatever you would call them, that tend to speed past in the bigger boats. Obviously this goes about 7 miles an hour, which is fast enough for something like this. But you can see the bigger boats have got more power. They power through, and as they go past, they like overtake you, and then because they're a bigger boat and they're going fast, it produces this sort of ripple effect, like a wake I think it's called. And obviously when you're going on this boat, when it ripples like that, it smacks the side of the boat and kind of pushes you around a bit. And there's a few people we've seen zooming across, not adhering to the speed limit. Naughty. Nice. So we're currently in Stokesby. The Ferry Inn pub is just down there on the left hand side. We've just moored the boat over there near the pub. Not a coincidence, we just found a free mooring. So yeah, we just moored here and we're just walking around this lovely little green area. There's a little sort of play thing there for the kids if you do venture to Stokesby. But yeah, there's a nice little green area. The little seating areas dotted about. But there is a pub there if you want to get some refreshment. It is hot, so you might need to get yourself a beer or whatever. And then yeah, the River Bure is just down there, so we just moved there. There is a little village shop at the back of the pub itself, So if you want to get some supplies, which we're going to do, you can get them from there. But yeah, there's some lovely houses around here, and as I say, a lovely little green area just to have a little wander, take the kids, have a little play, and maybe have a little wander around this place. But it's not a huge place, to be honest. We're only staying here because there was a shop, so we need to get milk, obviously the essentials for making cups of tea while you're on the boat. Well, yeah, there's a roadway here, and my in-laws are just there. They don't like being filmed, but there they are. My mother and father-in-law, great bunch of lads, and the missus going for a walk around the green. But as I say, it looks like there's a little climbing frame and some swings, a little roundabout over there for the kiddies. And then I don't know if you can see right in the distance there's a van, but beyond the van is a little boat, and obviously that's the river running along there, and we're just over in that direction. But it's a nice little quiet place, some lovely houses. There's a little sign there for the village of Stokesby. But I do love these thatched roofs. I think they look amazing, especially with that red brick as well. It looks really nice. It's a nice little place. Yeah, right by the village green. But yeah, the plan is to stop off here and get some supplies. Then we're going to go back off, and there's Berney Arms Inn, I think it's called. We're going to go and moor there and have our tea and settle in for the night and plan the next journey, because there is a large open water space. I think it's meets with the sea, I think it is, near Great Yarmouth, and you have to time it well, as I said before, to get across there. Otherwise it's like blowing you all over, or sort of drifting you all over. It's harder to control those sort of boats because they only go 7 miles an hour, and you have to go down that lane, so you need to pick your right times to get across, and it takes about an hour to get over there. So we're just getting all the bits we need now so we can get up early, get over that particular lane, round past Yarmouth, and then we're heading the rest of there. I won't mention too much, I'll keep it as a surprise, but yeah, we're going to go and see some nice things over there tomorrow. But as for now, we're just walking around this lovely village. I think there's a church coming up now, so I'll show you that. But yeah, there's some nice little properties here. Anchor Cottage, and this looks like a little church, which we'll see in a minute. Just need to be mindful there's cars going past. This is a Methodist Church, the old chapel, private church. I wonder if it's been converted into a property. Chances are, with it being private, it might be. There you go, 1907 that was built. Lovely little property if it's been converted. Yeah, it's just a lovely, apart from the odd car going past, it's quite nice, quite quiet. But the architecture around here is so different. It's not just your typical, the same house for every house. You've got sort of modernish houses here, and then you've got ones over there and over the front here with thatched roofs. That must be something to do with the old candle makers. You've got Chandler's End, and then you've got the Green Gardener. Then you've got Waterside House and Lavender Cottage. This is Waterside House, and this must be Lavender Cottage. Nice little property with some nice flowers outside. And then you've got Mill Lodge there, massive house. It's all very nice. There's a property over here I could see, like a round building. I want to go and see that. Try not to get the in-laws on the camera. They'll only complain if they watch these videos. But it looks like an old...
There's a duck on the roof up there.
There's a duck? A real duck? Oh no. It must be the old windmill, can't speak. Nice. Convert that into a property. And then, as you can see, that there's a duck on the roof. It's all very nice. We have seen a few of these old windmills being converted into properties, dotted around. Some of them have just stayed the old pumps or the windmills, but some are being converted like that. Or the house you saw when we went past with a sort of mushroom style roof. That looked like it started off once as a windmill or a pump house, and they basically just took the top off and put a roof on there and converted that into a property. But I think that looks lovely, that property. So there's your little climbing frames. You've got climbing frame, you've got a little roundabout that seems to be barriered off for some reason. You've got a seesaw, a slide, young swings and older children's swings over there. So you can bring the kids here and yeah, just chill out. Obviously, as you can see there, possibly in the distance, there's your boats going along, and there's a river going along there. It's very nice. But yeah, we're just going to the village shop now, get up the essentials, then we're going to head off down that way to Berney Arms Inn, I believe, and moor up there and plan tomorrow's excursion, which will be fun. So yeah, so we'll see you in a moment when we're heading towards Berney Arms. So there's the barn, the Ferry Inn Stokesby, and the Ferry Inn is just there. The shop, or the village shop, is just below. I don't know if you can see that sign just there. The village shop is just there, and it looks like it's open from 11 till 9 every single day. And you can get breakfast perhaps there from 9 till half 11, so you get bacon, sausage, bacon and egg, sausage and egg, and sausage, bacon and egg. Nice, I'm hungry now. You get soup in there, can you? And you get chocolate. Oh, I got a chocolate room, right, I'm going in there. See a nice Belgian chocolate fudge, chocolate lollies. But yeah, there's your, so you get food in there as well from 12 till 9 every single day. And it's open from 11 till 9. But here it is, the little village shop here, right on the back of the pub. And there you can see the water, and we'll be going in that direction in a moment. So see you in a sec. So there goes the Ferry Inn pub in the distance there. We just come round here and we're just going to follow this round to the Berney Arms pub, which is about 15-20 minutes down here on the right, so somewhere in the distance. So we should be there soon. Lovely cool breeze. So things didn't actually go to plan. We just went down there to find the Berney Arms. There was a Stracey Arms as well, where there was a windmill, but unfortunately there's no mooring. It's all private mooring there, and there's no other mooring from there to Great Yarmouth. So we're having to double back and go back to the pub where that lovely village shop was with the cakes. Totally coincidental. I didn't plan any of this, or did I? So we're heading back there to moor up for the night, and maybe go in and have a drink maybe, and then have our teas, and then just settle in for the night. So tomorrow we're going to be going across that vast space. I think it's where the sea comes in, and you've got to go through a channel, and you have to go at a specific time. I think it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, so we're going to have to leave here in enough time to get to the start of it, and then it takes about an hour to get over that great stretch of water, and then start the rest of our little journey around there. So hope you've enjoyed this little segment of the video, and yeah, get ready for day 5 with more of our lovely adventure at the Norfolk Broads. So see you tomorrow. So thank you for watching this week's episode. Don't forget to check out next week. We'll show you more of the beautiful places around the Norfolk Broads. See you then, take care, and bye bye.